In today's video, we'll be visualizing our data in Tableau, which will be part 3 of our Excel, SQL, and Tableau project series. Let's dive right into it. Here's the data set we're going to be using for our dashboard. So right here, I have our 2 different tables. All I'm going to do really quickly is connect them, create a relationship just so we can use them both. And we both have a customer ID, so we're all good to use this. Moving now onto my first sheet. I'm going to be creating 2 different dashboards for this. So I'm going to do the first one right now. I'll go step by step with that. And I'll explain how I'm going to incorporate both at the very end. So what I'm going to do is do our KPIs. I'll do overall. This first dashboard is really going to focus on the overall data points, mainly talking about the sales by month, sport, and by state. So we're going to focus on our KPIs. I want to show off the total amount of orders, the revenue, profit, and the profit margin. So what I'm going to do is drag over order ID to rows, add all members, change that to a count measure. There we go. Next, I'm bring over the revenue, sum of revenue. There we go. Bring over profit, sum of profit. And then for the profit margin, I want to make a calculated field for that one. So I'm going to call this profit margin. There we go. I'm going to do sum of profit divided by sum of revenue. And we are all good. Calculation is valid. Click OK. Drag that also over to right here. And now let's change that to a text table. Very good. Drag that up to columns, actually. There we go. So we have everything we need. We have the total amount of the orders, profit margin, and revenue. However, it's not in the way I want it. I want the revenue going right after the total orders. There we go. Profit looks good. And profit margin, it says number 1. However, we got to change that. So we go to here, click that, go to format. We're going to go to numbers or make that a percentage. Because the number we did the profit divided by revenue. That was going to be less than 1. So that's why I showed off the number 1. So we get 62.00. Let's just make that 0%. There we go, 0 decimal places, and we're good there. There are going to be some changes I make, especially to the titles and the currency of the revenue and profit. But for right now, I'm going to let that be. I like to put together my charts and information first, and then when I get my dashboard all organized, then I go back and change up any titles, tooltips, or anything like that. Moving on, I'm going to do the state profit. I'm only going to show off the profit. So by doing that, I'm going to go to the latitude in the rows, longitude in the columns, and I'm going to drag over the state into the detail section. I'm doing that because I'm trying to tell Tableau I want to organize this information based off the state. So putting that into the detail column is going to tell Tableau I want the profit going to the state. So by doing that now, I'm bring over profit to color. And that looks pretty good to me. So I'm not going to change the color yet, but you might see that there are 2 states here, Wyoming and Vermont, don't have anything in there. And that's because there is no data for those states. However, everything else has a color, and it goes from lighter, which is $17, up to the darkest, which would be the highest in profit, which is California. We'll make changes to the color in a little bit, but for now, this is all set and good to go. Next up, I want to show off the sales by each sport sales. And I want to compare each sport's revenue and profit. So by doing that, I'm going to go to sport. I'm going to drag that into rows. That's good. Actually, let me go to columns. I want to go in vertical. So that looks good. And then I'm going to bring over revenue and also profit. Now we get this situation where we have the revenue and profit. We want to show off both, but we get this kind of stacked looking chart. It's 2 separate charts basically. we want to do a dual axis so we can show off both in one chart. So I'm going to go here, go to dual axis, and there we go. And we're going to change this. It automatically changed it to a circle. We want both being a bar. Change that to a bar, and change that to a bar as well. Okay, good. And I want to keep the y-axis right here. I don't want this one. I only want to keep this. I'm going to click on that, right-click, and synchronize. Very, very good. We are showing header there. Good. We could get rid of this now. And this is fine the way it is. It's showing off that, this is the profit for each, and this is, the revenue. But I want to be a little bit different. I'm going to change the size of the profit to right here. A little bit less. That's good. A little bit easier to see. And so like I said, I like to keep it vertical too. Just a little easier to see really quickly which had the highest revenue, which one had the highest profit. And it's great because we get to show off two different insights in one chart. I like to wait till the end to make changes. However, I'm going to do this one really quickly. I'm going to go to here, right click. I'm going to edit axis. I want to get rid of the title. Let's go edit. And it doesn't want to cooperate with me right now. There we go. Took a little time there. Get rid of the title. And we're getting rid of the title because if it just said revenue, we would be confused of like, okay, yeah, we see the revenue as one of them, but the other bar, the blue one, is profit. So that would be inaccurate. So we should get rid of that all because now this will just show up by the number itself. And we're going to change the colors too in a little bit. But like I said before, I like to just have the charts done so we could have the dashboard organized the way we want it. And then we can make all the little changes at the very end. So next what I'm going to do is the monthly sales. And I want to do something similar. I want to show off the revenue and profit by each month. However, we don't need to go through and make it all by hand again. We could just simply duplicate this, leave it right there, and just drag over the date where sport is right here. And right now it's set for the year, which is accurate, which is correct. But I want to go by month. Go to month. And it looks good. So like I said, those are quick, easy ways that if you're in a project and you have to make multiple different sheets, multiple different dashboards about similar measurements, duplicating tabs will make it very easy for you in the long run. This is fine the way it is. However, I don't want this being a bar. I want to change the profit to be a line. Go to here, turn that to a line, and I like that. That's pretty good. And we're all set here. Like I said, the only thing now we got to do is when it duplicates, it uses that original title and just puts a 2 next to it. So we just have to go into here and turn it into monthly sales. So that's all good there. And that looks pretty good to me. That's what we're going to need for our first dashboard. And I'm going to make it right now. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to call this home dashboard. Good. Change the size to, let's go 1300. And let's go 800. We'll see if we have to make changes. For right now, that looks, let's go 900. Looks pretty good. Like I said, if we have to make changes, we easily could do that. I like to start somewhere around 1300, 1900, 1300 or 900, or even 1300 and 800, somewhere around there. And if I need to make it larger, I can easily do that. If I have to make it smaller, I can easily do that as well. So what I'm going to do right now is put together our dashboard. I want to have my title right here. I'm going to have my KPIs around here as well. I'm going to have my 3 charts. Going to have the state here, I'm thinking, the sports sales here, and the monthly sales there as well. However, this one's going to be a little bit different than the previous Tableau videos I've done. I'm going to be using some navigation tabs right here. So what I want to do first is put in horizontal right there. There we go. Vertical up here. Very good. And I'm just going to put in where I want my navigation tabs to be. It's a little bit ahead of time, but I want them to go right here. And I'm going to put in a text right here. And I'm just say navigation, do not touch. That just means I just don't want anything going in there. That means I don't want nothing going into this spot. This is for the very, very end, just so I can remember where I want things to go. Next, I'm going to actually plan together my whole entire dashboard right here, just so I don't have to keep going as I go. I'm going to put now my KPIs. I'm going to go right here. And I can easily adjust these. You know, sometimes I'll put them in and be like, you know what, this is way too much room, make it a little less, or kind of vice versa. But just so I have my design down, just so I know where everything has to go, I can put things in pretty easily, and the adjustments aren't really that bad. Next up, I'm going to put one here, and one long one down there. So let me go back up to here, vertical. There we go. And let me go into here. Perfect. And there we go. So for right now, we have everything set. 1, 2, 3, KPIs, title. Now, let's go do that. I'm going to put in the title first. Go to text. And let's see, what do we want to call this? What do we want to call this? Let's first of all make this, let's go 26. That looks pretty good. Let's go 26. And we're going to call this the 2022 Online Sports Sales Analysis Dashboard. So this is about sales. So let's see how it looks. Okay. Now I'm going to change this because this is going to be the home dashboard. And this is not only about sales, it's about sales and the customer ratings. So I'm going to go into here, sales. Let's go and customer. Let's call that. Yep. Oh, we got a little spelling mistake. There we go. Okay, it looks pretty good. So it's about, the 2022 Online Sports Sales and Customer Analysis Dashboard. And I'm going to make another change because what's going to happen is I'm not going to have any filters shown on this dashboard. Each chart and KPI will be able to be filtered. So I want to tell people that underneath this, I'm going to change this now to a little bit less. Let's think 12. And we're going to say, please use charts below to filter and icons on the left to navigate. There we go. Let's see how that looks good. So this is just giving people an idea on okay, so if you're going to be using this dashboard, the charts below will be used to filter, and the icons, which I'll show in a little bit, on the left, you will be able to navigate this dashboard. Let me go into here. That looks good. Okay. And I got Grammarly. Grammarly's good because sometimes when I'm putting together these dashboards, I'm not the greatest sometimes with, let's say, grammar or sometimes spelling. So having Grammarly on here is really helpful to make sure I'm showing this off in the best way possible. Let me go up to here. I'm going to change this to a different color. Let's go into here. And a color I really like to use for this, we're going to do hashtag 00557F. Yeah, I like that one. That's pretty good. There, I like that one. So I'm going to be using this one. I'll show it again one more time just so you can see it. This is the color I will be using for most of my titles. Like I said, when we get to the end, especially when we get to the colors, I do leave it pretty open to you guys. Like, if you want to go in and change to whatever color you want, by all means. It's whatever you want to do and show it off. Just make sure it's common practice. Make sure we're not interfering with using the same color for different metrics. Make sure it's properly put together. That's the main suggestion I will give for the colors. So we're all good there. Give that an okay. And we are all good there. Distribute evenly, so take the whole thing. Very good. Now, moving on to our KPIs, let's go put that in there. Very good. Make that entire view even better. We don't need the title, so let's hide that. There we go. We're going to make this a little bit smaller. We don't need that much. Like I said, we're going to leave that for right now. Not going to touch it. Leave that for right now. Let's go put the states in here. Okay, that's good. We do not need this. Let's float that. Get rid of that. Very good. Okay, so we have the states. Now let's put the sports in there. Very good. We are going to need this, the profit revenue, just because it'll be good to show off. So let me float that. Very good. Keep that like just for right now over there. And then put monthly sales down right here. Good. So we have everything we need from this perspective. Now we have to make our adjustments. This is the point where we really want to make sure that everything is properly set. We're showing things off in the best way possible and that it makes sense. Of course, you want to make sure you want to grab people's attention. However, you got to make things simple yet informative when you're putting together these dashboards. It's not all about the visuals. It's not all about how colorful something could be or how much can I wow them with my visuals. It has to make sense because the average person might not know how Tableau works. So you have to make sure you know your audience and how and what's the best way to show off your project. So I'm going to go now up to our KPIs right here. I'm going to go to here, go to layout. And what I want to do is I want to definitely take care of this right here, these titles. I want to go to here. I'm going to edit that to just be number of orders. Okay, that's nice and easy. And then I want to go into here, format this. I'm going to go to the revenue. I want to turn that into a currency, custom. And let's make 0 decimal points. Good. Same thing for profit. Right here. Custom. Make that 0. Good. And now let's get into here and make the changes we have to. Go to borders. Let's go. Let's see here. Get rid of that. Let's go here. Format. Change up these numbers first. Yeah, actually, let's take care of this. There we go. That should be good. Now let's align these. Put them right in the middle. Very good. And then measure names. So we do measure names. It's going to take care of all of these right here. And then we go to measure values. It'll take care of the bottom. So to make it a little bit easier, we can do this to take care of each of them. And for the measure names, we're going to make this. Let's go. Let's go 20. Let's see what 22 looks like. 22. Okay. It might be a little bit too much. Let's just go from there. We'll leave it right there for now. So that's good right there. Let's go to values and let's bring that to 26 people. Too much. That's actually not that bad. It's not bad. I'm gonna bold that too. I want to make the color a little different for this one. Let me go to colors and let me see. Can I use the same one? Use the same one I did with the title. I like that. That's good. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I think that's good right there. I will leave it the way it is. Now, time to go to the state and the profit. Let's go there. And let's format all of this. Actually, let's go to the layers. Let's wash this out. Very good. Just so it gets a little bit easier to understand. Let me go to here, go to format. Borders. Let's get rid of these borders here. We do not need them. That looks good. And that looks good. Very good. And for the title, let's make sure we just change that to the coloring. We're going to do the same color. Let's see. Very good. And let's bold that. Make sure it stands out a little bit better. Very good. That's good for now. And you'll see with the tooltip here, we have the state, but the profit is set up as just a regular number. So what we want to do is go back to state profit, and we want to go to here, sum of profit format, and let's make sure we change this to custom. And we see here we changed it, right? But we don't see a difference in here at all. That's because we have to go to the pane right here. We have to go to pane, custom, 0, and now we're good. Everything's all good there. So now we go back to the dashboard and see that everything is set. Now it's more properly put together, because we don't want to have this one just being a regular number, but up here is shown as currency. We want to make sure we keep it as consistent as possible. So we have that all set. Now let's go to the sports sales. And for this one, we're going to go to format. And let's go to the borders and make sure we get rid of, let's see, none there. Okay, not bad. And none there. Okay, looks pretty good. Actually, let's leave that. We'll keep that one there. And let's get rid of the sport. We do not need that one. Okay. And this doesn't look too bad. These bars look a little bit too wide. A little bit too wide for me. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's look at the width. We're going to make this even a little bit less. Let's make that go like here. And let's make that go right there. Let me go a little bit more. Okay, let's go take a look now. Okay, that's a little bit better. That's good. Like I said, it doesn't really matter too much. It's just I don't want being too wide. It's just everything kind of gets too crunched up, and it doesn't look that good to me. So that looks a little bit better. We're going to leave these. Let's leave these lines in here too. Looks pretty good. We're going to leave that and then go into here. And let's go to the color. Use that. Bold. And we're good. So we're good there. And now for monthly sales, same thing. We're going to go into here, get rid of the date. Good. Let's change that to bold. Put the color. Very good. And there's something here that I don't really like that much. I don't like how it doesn't show, like, even though it doesn't get to 60,000, it just doesn't make too much sense. We see 40, so we have to almost assume that, some up here would be 60, but I don't want that to be the case. So let me go into here, edit axis. Now that I'm here, I'm going to go to, let's see, automatic. Let's go to fixed. Let's see. Let's see. I just don't want to be set to that. Let's go to 60. Let's see. Okay, reverse that. We don't want that. Okay, that looks pretty good. So that's all good there. So we're all set for 60. Just because it just will make a little more sense. We know what we're dealing with here. It just makes a little bit more sense. As you see here again, some of our numbers are a little bit all over the place. So I'm going to go back to actually sports sales and change the tooltip. Make sure they're all being represented the right way. Go to here, format, pane, custom. There we go. Very good. Same thing here, format, pane, custom. Good. Very good there. Cool. Back to the dashboard. Everything's set here. Good. We're going to go to here as well. Go to format. We're in the pane. Good. Custom. Boom. Done. Now we go to profit. Same thing. Currency. 1, 2, 0. And done. Good. Back to home. Now looking at this, okay, like we got to decide again what borders we want to keep. I just want to get rid of this top one right here. So going to borders, I want to go to here, none. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. So what we have here is we have our state profit, our sports sales, monthly sales, and our KPIs. Now this is where we want to put a little more, should I say, touch into this. So I'm going to go to here is I want to change the background to this. Go to format, dashboard. And for the background, I'm going to use the following. Hashtag. We're going to go ADD8E6. Go. So we're all set with that one. That's all good. Now, there is a couple more things here. We see that with the title, that it goes with the original background. I want the title to also be blank as well. So I'm going to go to here, go to background, and click none. Let me go to white. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Go to there, background, make it all white. Background, all white. Okay, so we're good there. Now I want there to be a little bit more spacing between these. So I'm going to go to here. Nope, don't need that. Let's go to 8. Let's call it that. And inner padding, let me also see how 8 looks. We'll see. We'll see how it looks. We're going to apply 8 to all of these and make any changes that we have to. 8. 8. 8. There we go. One more. 8. And then 8. Okay. So we're good here, good here. This is one I want to change. Let's make this back down to 0. And there we go. That's good. Perfect. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to move these measure names. I'm going to put it like right here. Put it right there so we know exactly what we're working with. And I'm going to leave that right there just so we know that these two measure names, blue will be profit, orange will be revenue. I want to change these colors though. I don't want to keep it the way it is. I want to make this a little more specific to what I want. So I'm going to double click on that. And for profit, I'm thinking Seattle gray. Let's make it like a dark gray. That's good. And then revenue, let's go to, I'm thinking teal. Okay, let's see how this looks. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay, I'm going to stick with that. So now it's a little bit more, let's say, appropriate to what we're working with the colors of our dashboard. So the teal is more of the revenue and the dark gray is the profit. And that now applies to both monthly sales and the sports sales. Now, this is where things will get a little bit interesting. Like I said, we have our one dashboard here. But like I said, I want to make a second one as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away this container right here. And I'm going to put in a navigation object right like that. That's good. Put that like right there. I'm going to also, there's going to be three different navigations. So I'm going to put one there and we'll leave that right there. And the last one is going to be a download option, a download as a PDF. So what I want to do is I don't want it going all the way up there. So I'm going to put in a blank spot right here. I'm going to line that up there. Very good. And I'm going to put a couple more blanks. I want a blank spot there, blank spot there, blank spot down here. Good. I could always rearrange these a little bit later, but for right now, this is going to be just fine. Move that there a little bit and make that a little bit less, a little bit more. And that's good for now. So, like I said, I want this one to be for the home dashboard, which is this. This one will be for the ratings dashboard, and this one will just be downloaded as a PDF. For right now, I'm only going to be taking care of this one right here. So what I'm going to do is go into here. I'm going to double click. Next, what I'm going to do is go to this navigation to part. And I want this one to always go to the home dashboard. This will be an image button. And I'm going to choose this image. And for all of these 3 navigations, I'm going to be also leaving the image I'll be using. Just so you could use the same ones as mine. You, of course, could do whichever you want as well. But at least I'll give you the 3 I used for mine. Go to choose. I'm going to go to the home one right here. Border. I'm actually going to put a border on this one. Put it right in the middle. Background. Leave that as none. And let's see how it looks. It looks pretty good, actually. Pretty good. I'm going to leave that for right now. I'm probably going to put some more changes in here. I don't like how it's so close. You know what? Actually, let me do it right now, actually. I want to put a little bit more of a gap between that. A little bit more. A little more. And okay, that's not bad. So I'll leave that right there. Now, this one will be, like I said, for the ratings. This one I'm going to put as for the PDF. For right now, I'm going to leave it the way it is. Now, in order to keep this the same kind of format, right? The same kind of format as before, I want the ratings to look pretty similar. I want to be pretty similar to what this looks like. So all I'm going to do is duplicate this as well. I'm going to rename this one Ratings Dashboard. I'm going to let this one be. Obviously, this is not done, but this will save us so much time for when we put together our dashboard. And also, we get to keep these navigations buttons as well. Now, time to make our ratings charts and KPIs. So, going into here, I want to keep this all organized as well. I'm going to call this one the ratings KPIs. Okay. And for this one, I want to know how many customers left a rating, what was the average rating, and what was the percent of customers that left a rating. So for that, we'll go into rating, drag into here, call that a count. Just we count how many. There we go. Average rating, bring that also over. And we're going to change that to a measure of average. Very good. And now for the percent. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to do the count of rating, which is how much we have, divided by the number of orders there were. Okay, because that would make sense. Or because, like I said, the customer ID is also unique. Each customer only gave one order. So in this case, it wouldn't matter if it was customer ID or order ID. So for this one, we're just going to do it divided by the order ID. So we're going to do calculate field. We're going to do percent of customer reviews. And we're going to do count of rating. Close that. Divided by count of the order ID. Close that. And looks valid. Click OK. Drag that over. Change that to text. Okay, looking good, looking good. And like I said, I want to rearrange this. Put the count first. Then put average rating next. And now we're good. Same thing. We're going to go here and make some adjustments. So with the average, we're going to format. Here, go to number, custom, 2 decimal places. Let's see. Yep, that's much, much better. And then for the percent, go into format. Change it to a percentage. Looks like it's 0. Let me make that 1. Let's see how it looks. Okay, that's better. 41.9%. So that's pretty good right there. So we're all set with our KPIs. Now we want to go to the next one, which is right here. And also, just a quick little tip. If you want to make sure that you keep things organized, you can also right-click on this and give it a color. So I'll call this one blue, and I'll call this one, let's go with just red. Just so you can stay organized. And I like to keep the sheets to the left of the dashboard I'm using, just so I know that anything to the left of that is for that certain dashboard, just so when we get to more projects that are requiring more dashboards, things are just way more organized. So I'm going to go to like overall information about each rating. Now, I want to talk about first about the sport, putting in sport, and then how it's going to be organized. Like I said, it's based off the rating. Now, it might not make the most sense yet, but I'm going to be using a parameter to do this. So I'm going to go to sport, and let's go to rows, and then I want to put in just some overall information right now. So I'm going to go into here and go to revenue, and then profit, and then profit margin. Change that to text. There we go. Same thing, we're going to make some quick adjustments here. Format, pane, yep. Currency custom, very good. And then here, changing this also to a percentage. We will leave 2 decimal places for this one. And then revenue format changes also to a currency. And, what did I do wrong here? Oh, messed up a little bit. Sorry about that. Currency custom. Very good. I'm going to rearrange this, put revenue towards the front, and we are good. Now, like I said, this is going to be about the customer ratings. For right now, I'm leaving this the way it is because eventually I'm going to make a parameter that will filter this based off the rating. I'm going to leave that the way it is. And I'm going to now move on to the next one. I'm going to call this one overall ratings info. Just right now. I'm going to change that title a little bit, but I'm going to leave that the way it is. New worksheet, bring that over. This one will be ratings profit / revenue chart. I want to find the correlation between the profit and revenue based on each rating. And we're also going to be organizing that based off the sport. So I'm going to go to profit, revenue, and then I want the color to be based off the sport. I'll do that. Okay. I also, and like I said, this is summing all of it together. I don't want that. I want it by order. So I'm going to put order ID in detail. And now we get this. We get this crazy looking scatter plot. I want it to be the other way around. I want to put revenue here for columns, and I want to put profit down in rows. Okay, a little bit better. So this is going to be the correlation, right, of you see, revenue. So for example, we see some right here in red that with the order ID of 10055, that the revenue was $391.80 and profit was $181.10. I also want to make sure that this will definitely clear up a little bit better once we implement the parameter. But for right now, I'm going to leave it the way it is. Next, for monthly sales. Now, this one is going to be a little bit similar to the first one, right? That it's going to be the monthly sales based off the, like I said, the rating. Now, what I want to do for this one is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to take this, duplicate it. I'm going to drag it over here. And I'm going to just change this to ratings monthly sales. Just so when we get to the end, we'll make sure that this is the way it is. So for ratings, we're all good. We have our KPIs, our overall information, profit revenue scatter plot, and our monthly sales. However, we have to put in our parameter. So we're going to go to here, create parameter. We're going to call this ratings. Good. We're going to change it to integer. Very good. And we're going to call this, we're going to do a list. And we're going to add the values from rating. So very good. We have everything right here to set the way it is. Let's click OK. Now let's show this one off. Let's show the parameter. Okay. And let's say I want to go to 2, 3, and we see, okay, it's not working though. Why is it not working? Well, that's because we did not apply it yet through a calculated field. So we're going to go to calculated field, and I'm going to call this ratings. Just call it parameter. So we're trying to tell Tableau that the ratings parameter is equal to the value of what's in rating, the column in the orders table. So what we're going to do is ratings is equal to rating. It's valid, so click OK. And we're going to drag into filters. And all we have to say is it true or false? And yes, this is true. We want to make sure that the ratings parameter is equal to the same value that we're trying to show off in the rating column in the orders table. So we click true, click OK, and that's how we get it. Now, if I were to apply it, it's now set to the way we want. Now, you might wonder, okay, why does it look this way? This looks terrible, right? It looks terrible. And that's because it is currently fixed. So we're going to go back into here, add axis. We're then going to go back to automatic. And there we go. So we're going to leave that automatic, leave that the way it is. We can make some changes here with the numbers as well. But for right now, we're going to leave it the way it is, just so we can take a look. And let's just see how this looks based off some of these, right? So we see 2, okay. We see that also the axis will change based off the data that we have. So we have that. We have also for 3. We have it also for 4. We have it also for 5. Now, my only issue is with this, I don't mind that it changes all the time. However, it could lead to some misinterpretation of the data we have, right? Like we see a bar here, 5,671, and like, oh, that looks similar, but no, that's only 4,000. That could really not be the most helpful. So we could see here that the highest we get right here is about 5,800. 5,800. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually fix this. I'm going to go back, edit, and I'm going to go to fix. I'm going to make this 6,000. Nope, not reversed. There we go. So now, it's way more accurate. Way, way, way more accurate to what we want. Very good. That's much better. Very good. And now I'm going to apply this to the rest. So I'm going to go to apply worksheets. I'm going to select them. And I want these being applied to the scatter plot and also the overall ratings information. So I'm going to go to here and there. Click OK. And now it's good. So now with the rest, as we can see now, okay, see? Now this is currently set for the first rating. And we see these are only for customers that left the rating for the number 1. So let's now make our dashboard here. So we have what we need. However, this is now the ratings dashboard. We want to make sure for this one that we leave everything here the same. This is all good. However, we want this all to change. We do not need these KPIs, the profit, sales, or monthly sales. What I'm now going to do, instead of getting rid of it right away, just so I can keep the, let's say, format that I want it to be the same exact format, is I'm going to drag the KPIs. I'm going to put it on top, like right there. That's good. And now I could get rid of this. And it'll just take up the spot that I want. Go to here, entire view, and there we go. Very easy way to do that to make sure that we are not having to start all over again. Go to here, hide, good. Same thing for this. I'm going to put the overall information here. Very good. Get rid of this. Take up the entire view. Very good. Same thing. I'm going to now put the chart here. And come on. Very good. Get rid of that. Tire view, yep, already set up. And then for the rating monthly sales, put that there. Get rid of this. And we're good to go there. Perfect. Like I said, that's a very quick, easy way to make sure, especially if you're using a similar format for each, very easy way to navigate that. Now I could go into here and make any adjustments that I want. Making sure I kind of go back into here, layout, put that for just blank, make that blank, put this also for blank, and that's good. Changing now the titles, making sure that's the way we want it. Bold, using our original color, good. Take there, bold, make that original color, good. And that's all set there. Now, looking at this, the only problem we have now is we have no idea what color means what. Obviously, we can hover over it, but we have no idea what that means, right? What we want to do next is show off the legend. So we're going to go to here, the color, and we're going to float. There we go. Let's float that. Good. Turn that into a row. And I'm going to make this a little bit larger. Okay. And I want to put this right underneath the revenue. So I'm going to go to here and let me fix up let's go outer panning. Let's take a look. Let's see how this looks. Put 20 and no, see, that's going to be the wrong thing we're going to do. We want to go to the inner. Let's go to inner. At around 20. Let's take a look. Let's see how this looks. Get rid of the title. Make that a little bit wider. Don't need that much room. Let's see how this looks. Let's see right there. And okay. Looks pretty good. So now we have our legend here. So now we see anything that's blue, that's baseball, orange is basketball, red football, and so forth. So let's leave that there. And let's go to, we're good with that. We have this. Now let's make up any adjustments we have here. Let's float this actually. Bring that down right here. Let's also turn that into, let's get rid of the title. Turn that into a row. Put that across. Put that right there. There we go. That's good. And let's make some adjustments to our KPIs here. So let's go to here. Format. Measure names. Yep. Let's keep it pretty similar. Go to 22. Bold. Now let's make sure we center it. Very good. Let's now go to the values. Let's go to 26. Bold. And the color will be the same one we used before. Very good. So we're good with that. That looks good to me. For this, like I said, we're going to keep this the way it is right here. Any adjustments you want to make, let's say you want to make this, not as wide, so you want to go to there. If you want to make any adjustments to the sizing of the numbers, the colors, anything you want to do, I will leave that up for you to change however you want. And also here, we're all set with our revenue profit. That's good. That's good. Everything's set. Oh, we have our tooltip here, which is definitely not the way we want to be. So let's go back. Take a look at our tooltip. So let's see the problem. We have order ID, the sport, profit, revenue. Now here's the main problem is I want the revenue to go first. So I'm going to go enter. I'm going to cut, Control V, paste, and that's better. Now it's the way I want it. Now, though, I have to go back and make sure the format of each is as a currency. Now, for this one, I'm going to leave the way it is. I'm not going to round it because I want to make sure it is showing the correct amount. So that's good for that. I'm going to go to profit, same thing, currency custom, and we're good there. That's all set. So that's good, 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 and okay, we're looking at that bad. Now let's make sure we take care of any changes we want here. Now looking at the padding, I want to see how we want to do things a little bit different. Let's say for this one, I want to leave this one the way it is. This is going to be, let's see, 4 there. That looks fine. This one looks okay. I'm going to leave this one the way it is. Oh, I want to go into here and get rid of the borders. I want to get rid of the borders on this one. So we go to Format, Borders, None. Okay, that's better. Good. So that's good there. So we have this all set. Okay. And like I said, also when it comes to the padding, however you want to do that as well, I'll leave that up for interpretation. But for this one, let me see how it looks when I make this at least here. Okay, I'll leave that one there. Actually, the way it is. Let me now also make the changes here as well. See how it takes. See how this looks. I just want to see. I just want to take a look. 8. Let's make that 8 as well. Let's take a look. And okay, that's not too bad actually. Let me move this out over a little bit more. And a little bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, and now let me apply it also down here. Make sure we are consistent. 8 all around. That's good. Bring this down a little bit. And that's good. Okay. So this is looking pretty good so far. This is looking pretty good in my opinion. Yeah, this looks pretty good so far. So the main difference though is we have a rating parameter that's going to be used to work on all these 3 charts. So for right now, it's only set to the rating of 1, right? Let's say I want to go to 2. Now we see everything changes, right? Everything changes. The sales, the info, and the chart right here. Let's change it again. Yep, that changes as well. It goes to every single rating so we can compare to see, okay, the revenue, the profit margin, the correlation, and also the monthly sales as it is. So that's all set there. I don't want it right here, though. I don't want it there. Let me float this. Okay, I'll make this a little bit less. And let's see, where do I want this to go? I would love if it could go right here. I would love if it goes right here. Let me go right there. Make this a little bit less. Okay. A little bit more. Cool. Let me see. Let's center that a little bit. Good. Okay. So as of right here, we get to choose every single time whether we want to compare the ratings when customers give 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So we're all set there. Now, once again, we're going to here, and for navigation, we will want now use for this one is going to be set for the ratings dashboard, image, choose image, and we're going to use this reviews one right here. Very good. Border, make that right in the middle. Background none. Let's take a look. Yep, looking pretty good. And now you have to go back to the home one and apply it to this one as well. So make sure we're going back here. Go now to the ratings dashboard, image, choose, image right there, border right there, right in the middle, and none. Good. So we're all set with that. Now, just quickly looking at both, right? Now when a person chooses whether they want the home button, it'll always go here. And if you want to look at the ratings, it'll always go to this one right here. And now for the PDF, this one, it's going to be pretty similar to navigation, pretty similar setup. But like I said, this person, no matter, let's say a person wants to look at this, right? And they're on the ratings or the home. And while there's an easy way to download it as a PDF on Tableau, we have to imagine that some people might not know it enough, right? Some people might not have the best knowledge of Tableau. So we're going to put this as image, choose our image. And for this one, we're going to use this one right here. Border, yep, same thing. Background, none. Let's take a look. And Yeah, looks pretty good. Same thing, we're going to have to apply that to this one as well. But like I said, that's why we set this up this way. That is why we use a duplicate, so we make sure we keep the same setup. So we're not doing things over and over and over. Doing it this way is way easier than having to do it by hand every single time. That looks good. Actually, let me go back. I don't want to do that. Yep, that's good. Looks good. And now let me just take a look. I want to set up some borders here. So let me go into here. Let's go to border. Let's add in a border here. Let's take a look. I want to see how these look. Make sure you stand out a little bit more. Let's apply it there. Apply that there. I kind of like that. I'm going to leave that right now. Let me go to here. And we don't need that much. Apply this there. And I will say one thing you can run into a lot working in Tableau is you see something, you're like, oh, I want to make that change. I want to make this change. And it can get a lot of times. We want to make sure that you're double checking everything that you're doing to make sure that it is what you want. So as of right now, I kind of like the borders. Being there. I just think it just looks a lot better. I think it looks a lot better. So we're set. We're set so far. We have this, right? We have our first home dashboard, which is all set up. We have our KPIs, profit, sales, monthly sales. We have our ratings all set up. Now, there is one more thing, though, is, of course, on this one, everything's all good to go. But currently on the home one, right, we want to make sure that all these charts are being filtered properly, right? Because that's what our title says, right? Use the charts below to filter. So let's go to our state profit one. And we want to make sure that this is going to be applied to all the others here in our dashboard, right? So let's just see right now. Let's see what it looks like if we were to apply it, just so I can show you. And we see, okay, right? We see here that it looks like actually everything is all set up, ready to go. So the profit one's looking good. Now let's say we use this one. Let's say we did it by profit. Okay. Just shows it based off profit, right? Go to here. Basketball revenue. Okay, we're all good there. And let's see if we do it by, let's say, the month, right? September. Okay. It's looking pretty good, actually. So we're all set there. There is just one problem, though, and it's what I did with the axis over here, is when we go to, let's say, I want to look at the revenue by football. Everything else makes sense except for this, right? It gets very not so useful chart, right? So I want to make sure that I go back into here. I go to edit. That I just put it to automatic. Okay, just do that. And now, going back into revenue, it will now adjust based off what we were seeing. This will make it just a little bit easier, just because while in this one, we use it as fixed, right? Just because the numbers aren't as drastic. When we get to here, we could go all the way from 60,000 up down to around 3,000 or 4,000. And that just will not look that great whatsoever. So looking at this as of right now, we have everything we need. We have everything we need. We know that the profit and revenue are these colors. And we have here profit revenue, yep. Overall ratings info, profit revenue chart. And yeah, we have everything that we need. So what happens is when you publish this, which I will do in 1 second, I will show you what it looks like when we are navigating this dashboard. Now we have here the finished dashboard. I just uploaded it to my Tableau public profile. And I just want to show what the navigation bars look like. So just double checking all my filters. Yep, everything's all good on that part. And let me go click on this icon. It brings me right to my ratings. And from here, I can click on the ratings I want to look at. Everything looks okay. And then if I wanted to, let's say, download a PDF of this, click PDF, and it gives me the ability to download right here. Like I said before, a lot of this you are able to change the way you want, and I encourage that. This is just to push you in the right direction, to show you some different insights about Tableau, some different type of charts, some different insights, and I encourage you to create one on your own. Feel free to share with me on LinkedIn. I'm on there pretty often, and I would love to be able to interact with it and to bring some engagement to it as well. Like I said, I appreciate you guys following along on this 3-part series, which I went through Excel, SQL, and Tableau to show off this online sports SOAR data set. And I appreciate you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you guys on my next video. Thank you.